I'm paused on a sniper who is apparently twirling his kukri right now. It's pretty cool. This is Salamancer. You are watching SalTV, and today we have a game between the Reddit East Coast server and How I Fragged Your Medic. Reddit East Coast in the blue, How I Fragged Your Medic in the red, and of course the How I Fragged Your Medic team is a bunch of XTV guys and their friends and a couple other players. I don't exactly know how they got together, but I do know that a lot of these guys are pretty awesome on both teams, and we're getting out to this mid-fight already, but I am joined today by EricRuth, who has made, what, like 27 games?
Yeah, something like that. I think I've got upwards of 30 games by this point in the past 5 years of independent development. Nice to be here with you today, Salamancer. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, and it looks like actually one of the first kills there was gotten by the sniper's SMG there. That was aura fire from the Reddit East Coast team, Team Beast, and they are beasting it up right now. They've taken down a couple of key players here from How I Fragged Your Medic, although the red team is still in this, setting up a dispenser and a sentry over on this right-hand side. They got to watch out. A heavy comes up and tries to deal some damage. Meanwhile, though, there goes the Kritzkrieg. Duder, the first man to get taken out by that.
Well, it looks like they're doing a good job with the regular Uber over there on red, popping it on a heavy. It's a standard form of attack at the midpoint at this point. I think we got two really good teams actually watching the first couple of minutes here. They definitely know what they're doing, trying to get the high ground. We got the Solly on top. Very nice. And it looks like, what's that, a wrangled mini-sentry?
Wrangled mini-sentry. And you know, it's such a pain because you want to take out the mini-sentry, but you can't because it's wrangled. It's going to take you like 4 rockets just to knock the thing down. And in the meantime, it's actually got increased damage and increased range depending on how that engineer wants to play it. So it's a nasty little thing.
We got the Solly back up on the roof. It's a good move trying to take the high ground over red. Looks like Beast definitely has the right idea, but he looks a little outnumbered. And will the Solly make it out alive? He did. Very nice, very nice. Yeah,
Juzus over here, the soldier for How I Fragged Your Medic, actually catching the enemy demo man. That's Senoxer out of position. And there you go. Falcro is taken down as well. The scout there was headshot. So I think Team How I Fragged Your Medic is looking pretty good. Now, I know this game, the first half, was cast on XTV. They had some technical difficulties before the second half, and so I was told that I just had to finish this cast off pretty much.
Well, good deal. Well, I'm having fun. I don't know about you, but it looks like we're taking a look at red trying to make the push. They got numbers right now is blue has 2 down and red has only got 1. So we'll see if they can make some good use out of that.
Yeah, they have the, sounds like they have the charge ready to go. Yeah, that is going to be the Medic Green Store with 100% on a regular Uber right now, but he doesn't have anybody to really pop it on. Gets Jam is down. Duder down as well. Of course, Duder on the scout. You don't usually pop it on a scout, but hey, I've done crazier things. And here comes a crits right now.
I've seen a good one popped on a spy every now and again. It makes good use. If you got an enforcer on a good shooting spy, sometimes business spy with a crits is where it's at.
I've actually done that on pubs. It is hilarious. Oh, and this is what you were talking about earlier. This heavy actually standing there behind that shield. I'm pretty sure the shield only shields the sentry itself, so it's not going to give any damage reduction to gets. But maybe in the comments somebody can explain that to us as to whether it actually works or not.
Yeah, I'd made comment earlier while we were discussing the situation, and if the shield that remains there graphically also still provides the defense required by the sentry when it's up and running, that was actually a pretty smart tactical move by the heavy to get right there in that bubble and fire away. Because if it works, hell, it works.
Yeah, I don't think it does, but I don't know. Maybe it does.
Well, I agree. I don't think it does either, but again, if it does, that's a pretty good move.
Yeah, Grizzgolf here, the demo man, just spamming out this left-hand side right now. A little bit of a pause, maybe? No, just some weird issues with the STV, I guess, that are hanging me up right now. And
yeah,
here comes some... Oh, there you go. That is actually a pause. Okay. All right. There we go.
Well, it's been a great first section so far. Blue and red are actually pretty evenly matched in this regard. I mean, we're still battling it out over midpoint, and this, many minutes in is actually pretty good. So, no one likes
crits coming in from blue.
Indeed.
Yeah, they're taking out Grizz, Boss, and Ethel. Boss, let me see, what is Boss playing right now? He's actually on the spy. Might have done the dead ringer trick there, so I think that he is still alive, actually.
Well, Blue's got the numbers. Let's see if they can make some use out of it.
Yeah, they're going to have to push into a heavy medic combo here, which is always tough going through a choke point, but they should be able to deal with it. No, now there's a soldier there as well. Takes down I'm Bad. Nice kill by Juzus. Thing is, Sledgehammer's building that Kritzkrieg up, but he's actually going to be slow enough that there will be an Uber out of his opponents by the time he's ready, unless something crazy happens.
What a good headshot out of Aurafire right there, by the way. Taking down that heavy as he's trying to make his way back to the second point. Very nice.
And it looks as if our red team's actually backed all the way up onto the second point. They're not even indoors anymore. They've got Ethel kind of hanging around the soldier medic combo over here while they wait for their heavy to come back to them.
Golden Triangle's here trying to set up a little bit of a mini NG base, which is a good spot. This map is a very, very good NG setup. So with so many choke points, they can easily lock down doors and exits all the time. So getting themselves like a mini spot set up here so they can hold their ground, definitely a good move. But
there's a Kritzkrieg once again. They've not taken down anybody with it this time around. You've got all these crazy blue disco lasers coming out and no kills to show for it. In fact, the counter Uber coming out very, very timely there by our red team, and they are now pushing in to knock down a bunch of blue players here.
Looks like they're chasing down Asali trying to escape on blue, and red definitely have the numbers now. They've got half the team down, but it looks like they're responding pretty quickly.
6 health on this soldier, and he gets away with it.
That is nice. I will give them the credit. Mini sentry going up for blue on midpoint. They too trying to keep a mini base going.
Yeah, although Jesus doing a pretty good job of taking out the first one. And then Frailbot actually gets a kill on him with the second. I'm wondering if he's using the Frontier Justice. That would give him some nice crits to work with.
The entirety of blue is up and running, by the way. Looks like they're making a push. Probably a good move to do so at this moment.
Yeah, and I'm bad here. The I'm going to love saying his name a lot. But the blue heavy actually walked right by that mini sentry because basically it was just going to like poke him a little bit. He was overhealed, so he didn't care about the mini sentry. He wanted to take down that engineer and make sure there weren't going to be any more. The red, the red Uber is popped right now, and they are just now finishing it off, not having gotten any kills yet. Although they got to be careful with this. Yeah, they just overextended a little bit here, and here it sounds like our blue team's going to be ready to push anytime soon.
Yeah, they'd be smart to do it while they've still got the numbers going, and they are right outside the second point.
Yeah, John Travolta just got a nice little sidestep there on Golden Triangles, and Team Beast is really beasting it up right now with this soldier. The Uber really playing right into their hands, and Falcro, actually Duder takes him down, but no, Duder's still up, takes down Sinatra as well, and they have just barely managed to cap that second point on Team Beast.
G-Comer spending a lot of his time right now, as it looks like, being blue solid, and he is trying to reload that shotgun a lot, but really I think he should be focusing more on those rockets for obvious reasons.
Yeah, meanwhile, Aurafire takes another headshot there at the heavy, and
nice.
That is Getsjam, who is down to a backstab from John Travolta.
John Travolta, I always knew since I saw Grease that guy was going to make one hell of a spy.
Oh yeah, he's pretty darn good at it, man. And Jesus here setting up to defend properly. There is going to be a push pretty soon, I think, out of Team Beast, but they want to get their Uber up first. I'm imagining they're running a regular Uber just because of the build rate right now.
They are definitely running a regular Uber. Their medic Sledgehammer knows what he's doing, and he is making sure everyone is up and running pretty well. He's switching in and out between most of the team members, trying to get everyone with a little bit of overheal before they make this push.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was just talking to Rusky Doo today about a team that I am playing on with him. A lot of fun. And one thing that Rusky Doo says is, yeah, we need to make sure that we have good communication as a heavy medic combo. If you're going to run that, you can either play kind of a defensive heavy where you just stay back and then the medic will tell you when he wants to take you in, or, and here actually comes the push right now, the heavy medic pretty much doing exactly what they want to do, or you stay on the heavy until you say, okay, I'm switching to somebody else now, so that the heavy knows he can rush forward and do some crazy damage. Team Beast backing away from that Uber, and they've actually taken a lot of hits here, so they are going to probably back away from this for a little while. But I'm bad jumping in, gonna probably take down this medic here. There he goes.
All right.
Now dead.
Dude are doing a great job here on the red team, taking down a lot of the blues. He just took out the heavy from behind and another scout. And as we all know, scout versus scout is a hell of a battle. So good job to him for taking out a very problematic enemy there.
Yeah, and Team Beast is just kind of rushing in here one at a time. The demo and maybe the scout there come in. Spy. The spy is still ready to get some more backstabs, and could do just that. Takes down Chile. But he's probably going to end up dying here. No Dead Ringer anymore. John Travolta is gone, so I guess we can't expect to see any movies out of him anytime soon.
That's okay. His career looked like it was on the downfall anyways.
Ooh.
Still got the love. Still got the love for John Travolta. It looks like I'm Bad is trying to make a side from the right. He's trying to get in there on that last point as a heavy. Sadly, I think he's not going to have much luck without his medic, but here comes his medic to save his butt.
Yeah, and I mean, when you've got that much HP, there is a lot of butt to save, and it looks like
there is.
Looks like I'm Bad is wanting to just sneak in and deal some chip damage. I was going to say that Pyro looked like a spy, and then I realized, oh wait, no, we can tell who the spies are because we're the casters.
In fact, we can. If only everybody could play as a caster, am I right?
Yeah, but then nobody would be any good at the game, so, you know.
Well, they looks like the red medic took a beautiful headshot, and now he's down and out. Blue definitely have the numbers. This is their time. Let's see if they're going to push it.
Yeah, and it looks like they are, although they've got to be careful about respawns now because there are going to start to be some players respawning pretty soon, including the medic and demo for our red team. Plus, there's actually a back cap going on. Just going to zoom through a wall here for a second. That is going to be Duder chasing down Sledgehammer, gets that kill, grabs a health kit, and he's after the engineer as well. The engineer, Frailbot, takes him down.
That is a tough battle, being a medic trying to run away from a scout. You don't have the speed, you don't have the health, and more importantly, you don't have the weaponry to survive that unless you are a hell of a medic.
Yeah, if you can drag those scouts through narrow choke points, then you use those needles to deal some damage or kind of zone it out. That's a useful thing to do, but being out in the open, it is so tough to deal with a scout.
Yes, it is, and if you can get them to the choke points, you can also lure them into other places, like maybe a NG Sentry to help bring them down. That's teamwork right there.
Team Fortress 2 for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like Red are making a hell of a hold here. I got to be honest with you. I thought this was over at least twice now with two of the pushes, but they are really holding on to it strong.
Yeah, the push is coming in once again, I think, from Team Beast. No, they're actually backing away from this. Yeah, that makes sense. They don't have an Uber yet, so they're waiting. They kind of want to get a kill on green so they can push in with an Uber that is uncontested. So far, it's not what's happening. Sanox are kind of missing all that spam, too, but the Uber is popped, and now they just have to wait.
Well, looks like Sledgehammer on blue, their medic, he's got an Uber almost complete. There it is, 100%. He's got a soldier and a heavy running with him on the top floor. Let's see if they can make use of that. And the Uber is popped.
Yeah, so they're going to deal a good bit of damage here. I'm Bad's already taken down a dispenser. Meanwhile, Baus gets a good backstab there, but it looks like most of the red team is dying, and that is going to be
it is.
A round.
What a good round it was.
Yeah, the Redditors... I gotta say, if you're a Redditor, you probably have a little bit more of a talent pool to pull from than XTV. But, you know, XTV putting up a good fight nonetheless.
Absolutely. Scores are comparable. The battles were comparable. There were multiple times I thought either team was going to grab points, but they fended off successfully. I gotta tell you, this is a pretty good match.
Yeah, and I'm watching the Sanoxer cam right now as he jumps straight up onto the roof, tries to take this high ground for Team Beast, which is a pretty important thing to do, spamming into his opponents as they walk out of that choke, so they are taking a lot of hits right now, and the medic's going to have to work overtime to deal with that. Already Chile is down, taking a body shot from Aura Fire, and that is the first casualty here, but I think we're only going to see more as the demo's now down as well. At this point, the How I Fragged Your Medic team is probably going to back out, Eric.
I think you're right. I think it's a good move, too, as they have lost some of their numbers, and if they want to make a big push. What does it look like here? It looks like they're missing their Demo Man and their Solly, two of their big damage dealers.
Yeah, and the big problem here is that the Heavy just walked in and rolled all over. What are you doing? How did they not realize it was a spy? Wow. Okay,
I know, right? I'm watching from first-person perspective. I'm not even an outside, and I saw that coming.
Oh, man. But, yeah, Juzus launching over here and immediately going after the medic. Did take down Sledgehammer. That was a really nice jump there, and that's something as a soldier that if you can find the right time to jump, you already know half the game.
True, true. Looks like we've got a little bit of movement around. John Travolta is trying to come up from behind. Looks like he's taking the side route, and maybe he can grab some kills. Right now, currently cloaked, passing by the Demo Man successfully.
Just barely got that dodge off. It looks like the sniper spotted him here, and so he's going to have to get away, but he did grab that full kit of metal, so should be just fine. Actually, D-Cloak's behind the spy, and he's going to go for that pick, but instead he finds the medic! And he actually could... No, okay, the Pyro got him, but I was going to say it looked like he was going to go for that Heavy's back as well. But having taken out the medic means that, the blue team could push, but they've lost their Heavy now, so they're probably going to back away.
Well, the engineers are running mini-sentry, which is an absolute must in a situation like this. If nothing else, they're good time wasters, and they deter people's... view, that way they got their sights set on something that takes them away from the real fight, and the other team can then, make their big push. And right here it worked successfully as Blue was trying to make their way into Red's second point, but that mini-sentry definitely took about 10-15 seconds for them to take down eventually, so it definitely scored them some time.
Yeah, that's a hugely useful thing to do, and our Reddit team, Team Beast, once again holding on to the midpoint, and so we're probably not going to see How I Fragged Your Medic get over to to mid once again this round, because it's one of those things on 5 CP in Highlander. Once you've lost mid, it's so hard to take it back. Team Beast though losing a lot of players here very quickly, and nobody dead yet. Finally, Jesus goes down on How I Fragged Your Medic, but Team Beast is in a lot of trouble. They've only got 3 players left alive, and they are still trying to push this with their heavy and scout somehow. No, get out of there, guys.
I do not think it's going to work. They definitely, Reds got their heavy and their medic that were sitting right behind a wall, spun up, waiting for that push, along with a wrangled sentry and, of course, the Solly coming in from the side. So that was going to be a bad move. They made the right call trying to get out of there.
Yeah, now we have Grizzgolf coming in, and he's taking a Kritzkrieg, immediately goes for Aura Fire, so there's no sniper to stop this anymore. The medic did get taken down anyway, though. I didn't see what killed him. That was going to be, a rocket. Actually,
I didn't catch it either.
It was a rocket from G. Comer. I think that's his name, G. Comer. G. Comer, that's what we're calling him anyway. He did an excellent job there, shutting that crits down just a little bit early, so Team Beast holds on to the middle point once again.
Looks like Frail Bod there is their engineer, and he's throwing off some shots left and right, trying to keep people at bay, just holding back, maybe building some stuff up for the team, making a mini base at midpoint with a teleporter, mini sentry. He's definitely going the right way.
Chile here having some trouble with an overhealed sniper going up against him, and now he looks like he just wants to take the fight in close range to Melee, but he's really in trouble here. Gonna finally get the Girardi back out and look for that sniper once again. Oh, he gets taken down by Falcro. And now we got a heavy versus heavy fight here with the blue heavy coming out on top. I'm bad. Taken down. Gets jammed.
Oh wow, that they're what it looks like Snoxer, S3 Snox. I don't know. Point being is the Blues demo man definitely got a lot of kills in one sitting. Took down Duder, which is a good scout to take down because he's a pain in the butt. But it looks like it's not going to be for much here as the Blue are advancing on the point.
That they are. They cap it once again, and it's 9 against 4 right now. We've just had 2 more spawns, so more like 9v6. If Team Beast can get in position quickly, they are in a prime position to cap this point. They already have somebody on it right now. Nobody's stopping it until just barely at the nick of time. Aura Fire trying to go for some headshots here, and it doesn't even matter. That is another great push out of Team Beast.
Great push indeed. It was very noble of that heavy. Smart move too to jump on the point despite the fact his team was down. Red, he didn't know what to do, so he jumped down off the battlements and stopped that cap for probably a good couple seconds, and hey, that's better than nothing.
Absolutely is. I'm watching the Falcro cam on the way to mid, and he actually kind of failed to jump there, interestingly enough. Looks like he's running the Sandman because he only has 110 health. He's also running the milk bottle. Yep, launches that Sandman. He does get a bonk off on someone, so that's going to stun. I think it uses temporarily. Oh, yeah, the heavy. No, gets jammed then. Useful. And now he's chasing down the demo by himself, but Falcro has to escape. Nonetheless, this mid-fight is such a playground for scouts because of all the geography you can use.
Well, yeah, not only that, but anyone that can move around the screen quickly, not just scouts, but, you know, sticky jumping demos, rocket jumping sollies, anyone that can get on the roof can move around the stage very easily, and that gives good high ground to anybody who can get themselves up there before the other team.
Yeah, he actually ran in and almost took down the medic there, but it does look as if our red medic, that's going to be green, did manage to stay alive. He's got 100% right now. Doesn't want to have to pop it just yet. It is a regular Uber. And there he goes. He has pop now. Gets it on the heavy just barely in time there to save him from his opposing heavy. And now Team Beast is in some trouble.
Yeah, I got to watch that from my perspective. I had my camera on I'm Bad, the blue team's heavy, and that certainly was a lot of fun to watch him try and get in there and take out that heavy, only to have been saved by the team's medic. And watching him try to turn tail and run in the 2 seconds it took him to die was amusing, but it was a good try.
Yeah, and now we are on the Duder cam here. Duder, of course, is going to owe me some money after we get a couple of kills on screen from him. So far, he's playing a pretty passive scout. He just kind of wants to use his sniper here. He's protecting the sniper by making sure that anybody who comes in after him will get ambushed very effectively. Although, ambushing a heavy can be kind of tough, but he's going to do it anyway. Actually now going after the medic and takes down that medic. So that's $5 right there, Duder.
Let's see, right now I've got myself on the cam of Beast. Blue is Scout, and he's kind of just wandering around. Looks like he's pulling defensive duty at the second to last point. Surprising for a Scout, who usually get in there and do as much as they can and rush out.
Yeah, Scouts, I mean, in a lot of your more competitive settings, whether Highlander or 6v6, yeah, they'll wait for that opportunity, and sometimes they'll end up waiting kind of a long time, but you do wait until one of the flanks opens up until you think you can get you know, some support for your team, because especially against 9 players, if you rush in against 9 people, it's not very likely you're going to be able to do anything. Nice sticky trap by Synoxer, takes down Green Store, and now Falcro eats that mini sentry, so he is going to die very quickly, but the medic is down there, so Sledge is going to have a huge Uber advantage.
Well, it looks like Blue is going to, well, my bad. I was just about to say Blue's got the advantage in numbers, and they should make the push, but they lost multiples at once. So now they are missing their Demo, Scout, and Pyro, 3 good players on their team, so maybe they should pull the waiting game for just a few minutes while waiting for their team to reunite.
Yeah, Ethel did a really nice job there on Pyro, taking down that soldier, and one thing that he was using was that high ground. He was standing just barely high enough that the soldier couldn't really effectively aim at his feet. And now Ethel using, oh no, trying to use that dispenser to keep himself alive against the heavy a little bit longer, but it was not meant to be here, as GetsJam and Green are now going to push out, or try to. No, actually thinking better of that one.
Well, right now I'm watching I'm Bad and Sledgehammer, the heavy medic combo on Blue, try to make this point to the mid, this push to the midpoint, excuse me, and looks like they did it successfully as Red is starting to retreat a little bit, and now Sledgehammer, gets taken down by the Red Spy. Good work from Boss.
Yeah, wow, Red Team making a beautiful push right now. They have knocked out a whole bunch of players from Team Beast, and they are pushing so far forward. Chile actually looking to try and kill that spy, but instead decides he wants to take down the engineer, along with some help from Jesus and Grizzgolf. And, ooh, this is actually really looking bad for our blue team right now, as they are losing players left and right to the onslaught from our red team.
Just goes to show how important the team aspect of this is, and if you can get the numbers stay together and work together, you can definitely cap these points pretty easily. I think right here is a good example of the red team not giving up despite the fact they lost so many games in a row, sticking together and pulling these pushes with complete accuracy. Look at them go.
Yeah, and GetsJam spinning up right now, taking the Uber. He's going to push in towards last, and this is what it all comes down to. Can they get the capture? They're trying to take down this sentry right now, but got to watch out for that spy. They have done. Starting to lose a couple players here. The sentry is up. It is wrangled. There is now a Demo Man on the point, and Aura Fire looking from over on that left side as well. So for now, I don't know. I don't think our red team is going to be able to capture this.
I do not think so either, but it does look like that the Golden Triangles, this team's delightful engineer, is setting himself up a mini base just north of the second point, bringing his team closer, dispenser and all, to the final battle.
Oh, wow, and Chile knows what Aura Fire was up to. He knows his tricks, so waits for him to peek around that corner and takes him out with a beautifully timed headshot. So now there is no sniper for Team Beast to try and hold this off. They are going to have an Uber just a little bit quicker, though. So our red team, that is how I fragged your medic, are going to have a tough time pushing into this.
And Red is doing a great job, I got to be honest with you. They looked like they were doomed to fail from the start with that first down and all, but they are really pulling it back. I give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, a couple kills there, though. Duder and Chile both dying means that even though they're going to have this Uber in the next 10 seconds, they probably don't want to use it yet, as they do want to wait for all their players to be up before they push.
But we have a popped Uber on Blue Heavy Medic combo coming up to take down the up, and there they go. There goes the Red's mini base. There goes their engineer. It is all down.
That was probably one of the best pushes I think I've ever seen in Highlander. I'm going to be honest, because they knew they had the Uber advantage. They snuck around. I mean, they wrapped around, used the flanks perfectly on this map, and they said, okay, we want to make sure that we pop into them instead of them popping into us, so that we don't have to worry about, you know, a tenuous situation on last point defense. And that's exactly what's happened. Now they're able to push out, recapture their second point. They have to deal with that wrangled mini again, but it gets taken down really fast here. Chile was way overextended, and I think I don't know, I was going to say the entire red team here might be overextended. In fact, that's true. Green Store taking some damage and doesn't even want to jump up that blip, which actually just got him killed. And so
yeah,
he tried to walk
just
upstairs.
saw him fall, in fact, myself. He did do he has a great idea of his spatial surroundings, though. Green Store definitely knows what he's doing. Watching him play these rounds, it's clear that he knows where the ins and outs of all the doorways are, and he knows just where to position himself, most of the time just out of range of rocket fire, bullet fire. Yeah, you get the idea.
G-Commer using his hurt status to help build that Uber, although he's not actually rocketing himself right now, trying to spam into the garage, I guess we're going to call it here. I don't know if it's actually a garage, but yeah, it could be a garage.
Yeah, I'll go with garage. Why not? and it looks like blue has made a pop, but it didn't look like it was a strategic pop. It looked more like a save our butts pop.
One of those reactionary kind of things that you, you get from time to time. But they should be able to use it to get in here, take down possibly the medic. Yep, there you go, medic's down. But of course they lost Sledge and their heavy as well, so I don't know if that was a great trade. They did make the most of their Uber, though. I'll give them that.
I will give them that. Yeah, they used that Uber to save their hides, but they were able to pull a wrap around and take down a few people, including the medic, of course, the team's most valuable player.
G-Comer, wow, nice rocket connect there on Duder. Duder is giving himself a later dog for that one. And G-Comer actually didn't notice that spy there, but he is going to have to try and take down the demo. Meanwhile, there you go, finally realizes, oh yeah, I should probably do something about that. Spy there, spy versus spy fight was happening for a while, and G-Comer still on a rampage trying to hold down the fort against Chile, who has taken down, once again, Aura Fire. Now Grizgolf laying down some sticks at this choke, and he may not be able to hold on to it for much longer as he's starting to have to reload and taking a lot of damage. John Travolta is probably using the Dead Ringer here to get behind, and let's see what happens.
Yep, I'm watching John Travolta myself, but he has been found out by the scout, so it looks like, yep, he is down and out.
Yeah, and Kritzkrieg ready for our red team, but they got to be careful here as, oh, no. Yeah, that wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. But you know what? The game is certainly not over, and they've got plenty of chances to recoup. This is only midpoint, so let's see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you what, they actually managed to take down I'm Bad and Sledge with that Kritzkrieg, so it's not all bad. They just, you know, their medic could have made more use of it there if they hadn't died.
It looks like G-Comer now is back to almost full health thanks to a med kit, but he is going to retreat to final point, as he's going to have to do to try to save his team.
Well, he's actually kind of roaming around right now and is behind most of the How I Fragged Your Medic players. He's trying to take on this heavy and does manage to kill him.
Yep.
Nice.
Good move by him. Again, that's a good example of where having the higher ground definitely proves an advantage.
Spy
but he
coming
finally
in
falls.
and, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, I'm Bad?
Spatial surroundings, people. Spatial surroundings.
Yeah, I don't know what he was turned to face at, but whatever it was not as important as that spy. And now, once again, How I Fragged Your Medic getting in here with a huge player advantage. They have managed to stop the capture temporarily. Oh, no! Nice back half there by Falcro. That player advantage is not going to mean anything now because they're going to have to spend a lot of time recapturing the second point.
Well, Chile just did a successful move forward by taking down the scout who was trying to make the push back. It was a good shot on his. It was only a body shot, but hey, if the body shot kills him, no need to knock it.
Oof, Grizgolf just tried to walk in, overextended once again through that little choke point, and he was punished for it. The heavy there, I'm Bad, took him down, and now there's a wrangled mini-sentry up top once again from, who is that guy?
What, the engineer in red?
Golden Triangle, yes.
Yeah, Golden Triangles. Golden Triangles, as I've noticed, has been very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Formulaic. He's put his teleporters, his dispensers in the same place every time they make their pushes. Not that that's bad, but he might want to consider switching it up a bit if he wants to keep the surprise tactic in play.
Yeah, I'll give you that, definitely. Duder actually using the Winger, that pistol that gives you a little extra damage boost, I think, but it's only got like 5 shots in the clip, so it's a big trade-off here. And Duder's actually getting in on top of this heavy, who does take him down. Ethel, meanwhile, takes down Beast Ambassador Pineapple, but they're going to have to deal with this spy on the medic right now, and an Uber, which, as of yet, hasn't managed to take down the medic. I'm kind of confused by this. There you go. They do finally take that out. And, you know, it looked like the medic, could have tried to get away there, but really they were pretty much cut off from retreat at that point. So once again, Team Beast gets out there with their Uber advantage and makes the most of it.
Now I'm watching Falcru, who is the blue scout, making his way back to the midpoint area right now after just respawning not long ago. And he is trying to take that midpoint, seeing if he can make the back cap. Let's see if he can make it happen.
Well, it's going to be useful for his team if he can, because there's only about a minute and a half left in the game. So Team Beast, you know, if they could have gotten that cap, might have been able to put it up to 3-0 in the first half. But we are probably going to go into that second half with a 2-0 situation here for the Reddit East Coast team.
Well, this is definitely a hell of a fight. Now, when this map first came out not that long ago, it was part of the Christmas update, I like to complain to people that the map feels a little stalematey. I do believe that's true, and this map does help visualize that for people who may not be familiar with this point of view. But with all the choke points, with some good engineering, and with some proper Ubers, this map can definitely extend play as long as the timer will allow it.
Oh, yeah. And normally these teams do play until they get to 5. I don't know if we're going to get to 5 at this rate. John Travolta takes down Golden Triangles, and then he dead rings away from that sentry gun. So now I think the How I Fragged Your Medic's team, with 30 seconds left on the clock, are not going to be able to put this away anymore. So they're just kind of waiting down the time. This is dead time.
Yeah, pretty much. We're just waiting for that timer to run out at this point. I'm all too familiar with this in the fighting game world when you've got the advantage and you're turtling it out just to make sure the other person doesn't get the advantage. It looks like, oh, real quick, both teams have popped their Medigun Ubers.
Yeah, that was our red medic rushing in and trying to save the, I believe, the soldier, possibly the heavy as well. Could not do either, just couldn't get that heal beam quite in the place they needed. So there you go, that is the half. 2-0 for the Red East Coast team. We'll be right back. Wow, this spy looks like my worst fears at a carnival. Oh man, go. Well, back in the second half here, they are just starting up now, and despite my fears of a spy at a carnival, this is looking like it should be good. Now the the XTV team, the XTV crew yesterday who was trying to cast this is about where they cut out, so we're going to see the rest of this game here, and it should be a walloping good time. Juzus, as you will notice, just gave a shout-out, actually. He shouted out to XTV and the Konami code. Here's a hint, guys. Try entering the Konami code on the XTV website, and then hitting enter. See what happens.
And an interesting piece of information to start your day.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how many people actually watch the cast up until this point. Hopefully, a lot of them. But there is an Uber ready to go from Sledge, and it is a crit. Okay, so they are going to pop out here with Snoxer right now. There goes a crit pill right away. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but Effel's down to a crit sticky. Not a lot else has died yet, but one more crit sticky takes down Green Store, and that is a huge wipeout.
Blue is really down. Red have got numbers completely. A full roster against not even half of Blue's team. That was a great push by the Red team. Great job, Beast.
Yeah, Beast. I mean, they rolled out there and they beasted it with the crit screen is what happened. I just think that the How I Fragged Your Medic team, who by the way are now in blue, swapped sides, they just weren't ready for that. And
no, they were not. Apparently not, because they fell pretty quickly. No offense to a great team, of course, but man, did they fall, and they fell hard.
Oh, and Sinoxer was going to go for that health kit back there with his 12 HP remaining, but ended up getting it stolen by that spy. Now he's in a bit of trouble here. This heavy is going to take him down. There you go. Gets Jam with the kill.
Now let's see if we can get a comeback out of blue this time. I'm currently on Grizz Golf's he's trying to chase down a scout with a demo man. That can be a little rough. Hopefully he can get the splash damage with the stickies, and I think that he did.
Well, we're watching right now Chile making full use of the range of this map. The second point has such long sniper lines. So does the mid point, really, but he's on the second point right now, using those sniper lanes to great effect to shut down an entire choke. Neither team really losing a lot of players right now, although there goes Sledgehammer, and they should have known that sniper was watching. I mean, that's the kind of thing where it's just poor communication, or maybe the medic wasn't making the right decision there. But they should have called that out and said, no, there's a sniper over here, do not walk that way, and the medic should have immediately responded. So losing your medic, that's a big deal. Team Beast probably going to end up losing the mid point here if they're not careful.
Well, we've definitely got a lot to see, and Blue has yet to make a real good push on the point. But we did see Red lose a lot, Beast, excuse me, lose a lot coming through that second point. I just watched their Master Pineapple, their Pyro, walk face first accidentally into an entire team of Blue running through the same choke point, so he bit the dust pretty quickly. Ate a minigun right to the face, in fact.
John Travolta giving out the later dog. We've got Effel now trying to get on the point. Just use that flare gun a little bit. That's a tough thing to aim from such long range, though, and I don't think he's going to be able to hit a lot with it. But hey, it's Effel. Then again, he might. He's actually sneaking around behind. Oh, he could have gone for that sniper, but he got spotted out by the heavy, so I think maybe that was just a bit of an overextension. And our blue team now losing so many players here. Team Beast looks like they're in a good position again.
Yeah, but they definitely have their medic down, so they're going to need to make a little bit of a waiting game out of this so they can get their chief priority back up and running.
Yeah, it's tough to make that push when every little hit can't be healed up at all, no matter which player you are. But Foundry does have a lot of nice health kit locations, so if you've got strategic roaming classes like your heavy, I'm sorry, not your heavy, well, even heavy could, but usually don't. But soldier, scout, maybe even engineer, pyro, whatever you want to use to roam around, they've got health available.
That they do. This is actually a pretty health-filled map. One of my favorites when it comes to trying to put... Oh, excuse me, I'm watching Snoxer, the red demo man, take down with sticky grenades about half of Blue's team right as they walked by a certain point. But Blue is now going to retaliate with an Uber on the heavy.
Yeah, and John Travolta, he's probably just going to wait this Uber out and then sneak in behind, try to get the Pyro. Can't get that stab yet, and this Pyro is going to notice him. So what happens when a member of Flare Shot meets a member of Electronic Espionage? Apparently, for now, John Travolta is going to win that fight. But in case you do not know, those two groups, Flare Shot and Electronic Espionage, are kind of elite clubs for Pyros and Spies, respectively, so do check them out. And we do have Team Beast once again with 100% Uber. They are pushing in right now with a Soldier and Pyro over on this left-hand side, taking down that mini-sentry first. Not getting a lot of kills out of this Uber.
Not just 100% Uber, but 100% of their team is up and running, and that is just as dangerous.
We have GetsJam trying to peek back out of the corner here. He can't stop the capture. So the Red at East Coasters are looking like they're ready to push in pretty darn soon to the last point. They just want to build up another Uber here, and Green Store is going to have to set up an Uber of their own. I don't know if they'll be able to do this.
Looks like Golden Triangle's the Blue Engineers trying the mini sentry on the other side of the crates, trying to hide it from anybody trying to come in with an immediate attack so that it can get some hidden shots on them before they realize it's there and take it down. A smart move, as if ever there was one for an NG in this situation.
I didn't see it.
But now he has switched out. He is going regular level 3 sentry now, and he's popping it in the same place that he had his mini sentry, but now he's hoping to get some real damage out of that location.
Well, it looks like Team Beast is going to push in pretty soon. I'm going to find the heavy because he's probably going to take most of the Uber here. There you go. I'm bad. Fully overhealed. They are kind of just waiting for a pick now, and Aura Fire ended up getting taken out by Chile. So they're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Well, we are definitely watching Red try to make this big push in right here. They are playing the waiting game, definitely being a little defensive, holding that point. We're getting overheals out of the medic, who is alive and kicking. So Blue's going to have to watch their tails, because this is definitely going to be a strong push when they decide to make the move forward.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking that Beast probably wants to wait until they get a kill. John Travolta ended up dying. They took down Boss, and they forced an Uber, interestingly enough. Not sure where that came from, but Blue Team just had to Uber there, and they didn't really get anything out of it. So now Beast's probably going to push in.
Yeah, it definitely looked like an Uber to save their tails and not so much make a push. Which, I mean, if you're going to do something, do it that way. Looks like the Effie, the... Oh, Pyro looks like he was trying to take out the medic from the other team by puffing him away from his heavy during that Uber. Looks like he succeeded, and victory comes of it.
Yeah, there you go. Team Beast, once again, with another good round to bring it to 3-0 against How I Fragged Your Medic.
Well, as even as things were looking earlier, things are definitely starting to look a little more in favor of Beast at this point. Scores are definitely showing a lot more ingenuity when it comes to finding ways to kill the other team.
I want to see what John Travolta does here when he gets to the mid-fight. He's actually going the left-hand side, which means he could end up, if he's not careful, running straight into that Pyro, but he uses the Cloak and Dagger, interestingly enough. Takes a couple hits there, so he's probably going to get spotted, but, I mean, with all the chaos that's going to happen in this mid-fight, I don't think it's going to matter too much. And so he decides to just sneak up here and find a nice little corner to decloak in, actually to build up his cloak. There you go, now decloaking. And he's going to walk up the stairs, probably go for the medic combo back here. But he's spotted. Ooh, nice backstab anyway.
Yeah, he was spotted, but I watched him take that time up the stairs there and did manage to take down the Demo Man, who at midpoint is a force to be reckoned with. So while he didn't get anything else out of it, that was good enough.
Definitely was. He's going to lay down a sapper now, and the rest of the team's starting to push in here from Team Beast as well. They've captured mid, and already they look like they want to get towards second. They've taken the garage, which I think the garage is kind of tough to hold anyway, so it's not a bad idea. But there goes an Uber, actually, out of our blue team, and they have taken down one or two players so far. GetsJam getting some good kills, Grizz Golf a couple as well. John Travolta still cloaked up behind them. They've always got to watch for that spy, but right now they're doing a pretty good job of pushing back forward, and they should be able to take out this midpoint. But watch out. There goes the spy, though. Greenstar already killed. John Travolta gets away with it again.
Well, it looks like even though they are now pushing up as far north as the midpoint, they are still using a regular sentry as opposed to the mini sentry, and I'm kind of surprised he hasn't switched out by this point. But now that he is down and out, maybe he will.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've been practicing for a game where we actually are not allowed to use mini sentries. So if you're going to have an engineer, you kind of need to use a regular sentry. But this game, of course, they were allowed to use regulars or minis. I'm sorry, mini sentries, as we've seen. So yeah, the decision not to use mini sentries in a game like this on 5 CP is a little bit weird. And Ethel looks like he just may have had a lag spike there or something because he was just standing still and waiting to die.
Well, sometimes you're just so depressed that it looks much better than waking up in the morning. Just kidding, of course. In Team Fortress 2, it's always about making the stand as best you can, but yeah, lag spikes do happen and definitely get the better of us even on our best days.
You need some help there, Eric?
Is that just... I completely caught you off guard. I can hear you. But this isn't what TF2 casting is about at all.
Team Beast here tried to push in and ended up losing 4 players there. They're still building their Uber nicely enough, I guess, but they're not going to have it in time to beat the blue Uber. And that Sledgehammer actually getting pressured by Duder. Can he take him down? Yes, he can. Uses the bat to finish off Sledgehammer.
It's a good move. It's always impressive when you can use the bat to knock someone out.
And he's actually pulling out that winger for some reason. But he's going to use the scattergun to try and take down Aura Fire, and he does that too. The winger's out, and he does a bit of damage to that soldier, but not enough to kill him. Now Team Beast having some issues, and it looks like Getsjam actually got a crit kill there. It might have been a Jarate kill. But, whoa, did we just get a back cap? I didn't even see that. That was actually the heavy. That was the heavy on the back cap.
Man, it looks like that heavy was trying to come through on the second point and recap. They took down the Demo Man successfully, including the NG's mini base setup, but it was not enough as the back cap from the team's other heavy made the score.
Well, that's going to be 4-0 now, and that was a pretty close round. I mean, it really looks like it was going back in the direction of how I fragged your medic, but being down 4-0 in the second half is a tough position to come back from.
Well, hopefully they can tell us exactly how they're going to frag the medic, maybe in less than 8 seasons, because frankly, I'm getting a little tired of waiting.
I don't even watch enough TV to totally get that joke, but I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you. Once again, John Travolta getting behind the enemy team, this time using that regular spy gun. Or, I'm sorry, spy gun. Using the regular watch. Hey, shut up. It's getting late. The Kritzkrieg, though, is almost charged for our blue team, how I fragged your medic. And so this may, in fact, be how they fragged our medic. They're probably going to... Oh, no! There's a spy there, and it's not being communicated right now. Oh, that is so sad to see.
Of course, it's worse because you and I can see the spies for what they are, so when we watch obvious situations, sometimes while I'm watching this, it'll flat out kick my mind and be like, what are you doing? The spy's right there. But then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Well, here comes that Kritzkrieg, and they're going to crits the demo, which is a pretty darn good idea, but the crits is now over. They only got 1 kill out of it. Effel's down on the flanks from Falcro. And Falcro, I mean, playing with 110 health is so hard to do because you're going to die from 1 rocket, pretty much. But he's making the most of it.
I have been playing a lot, in fact, of Sandman Scout recently, and that 110 health is a killer.
It really is. So the person who sent me this, I don't remember who it was, which player it was on the team, but I think it was one of the Reddit East Coast guys who said one of the things they want out of the cast is to see what they're doing wrong. And it's not necessarily wrong, but one way to improve your play a little bit, every time your scout has crit heals, you know, so he hasn't taken any damage for the last 15 seconds, if you send him back to the medic and just get him buffed up, that can be a really useful thing. You can rush into a situation with 180 health instead of 120. Meanwhile, Team Beast pushing out here with an Uber charge, and oh no, nobody ready for this, but actually there's the Kritzkrieg, and it didn't work. They did a bit of damage with that, but the medic is now down.
Oh, blue is almost completely out of there, almost completely out.
Wow.
They only have 2 players alive.
Not good at all. Wait, I see 3.
They're going to have to play the waiting game and wait for their team to reconvene, because it is going to be a bad move to watch 3 people try to move in on that almost complete red team right now.
Yeah, Team Beast ends up getting the capture on mid, and Duder, playing the flanks, takes down the engineer. Going to go for the both the demo and the sniper right now, and he might take them both down. That's a 3K for Duder from XTV.
Duder is a hell of a scout, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people forget the scout is a dangerous player to have. They can move fast, they can get to high places. That close-up scattergun's a pain in the butt. A successful bonk is, especially from a far distance, is basic death for you if you're anywhere near gunfire. You know, people need to remember, you got to keep your scouts overhealed. It doesn't seem like a good idea on the surface, but when you think deeply about a good playing scout like Duder, for example, let me tell you something. That's a valuable person to keep overhealed.
And Aura Fire ends up taking down Chile over on the side. Ethel complaining about a face stab, but hey, that's just part of the repertoire when you are a member of E2. So, Flare, you know, it's like a Flare Shot Pyro complaining about that. Well, you know, there's a lot of stuff about Pyros to complain about too, man. Anyway, here comes a Kritzkrieg once again from the blue team, and this one not doing a lot. Once again, Jam gets a kill on Ambassador Pineapple, but that's just about all that happens.
Well, it looks like Red is now trying to push to Blue's second point. We definitely have a heavy medic combo with almost complete health coming in from the top. And now Sledgehammer saving the Solly and letting him come. Oh, but the heavy goes down from, what was that? Was that a...
It's a Huntsman Arrow from Chile. And Jesus did a bit of damage there himself. Nice taking down the Engineer there as well by popping him up in the air and hitting him while he was up there. No chance for that Engineer. Jesus just needs some health now, and he's probably going to reconnect with his medic here, who may still be running the crits. Yes, they are.
Actually, in my opinion, and probably only my opinion, but Huntsman switch that far back towards your endpoint is usually a pretty good idea. You don't have a lot of room to play with for setting up shots from scope, so, you know, it's a good idea to be able to run and gun on the go. And for this situation with a sniper, I think it's a pretty good move on their part. After all, it did work on that heavy.
It absolutely did. I'm sorry, How I Fragged Your Medic, they are very close to a crits right now, but they've got to be careful. Sledgehammer very close to an Uber, and Sledgehammer was pressured a little bit there. Had to pop a little bit early, so if they can just stay away from this for a little bit longer, they can keep the crits up, but no! Green Store taken down by that crazy minigun. Nice and spun up, invincible heavy. It's a tough thing to take on.
Chile doing a good job there, by the way.
Yeah, Jam gets the ambush kill on Sledgehammer, but is it going to matter? Team Beast is pushing into second, and that's going to be Jam actually throwing out the bind. That, kids, is How I Fragged Your Medic. Now we know.
Now we know. It didn't take 8 seasons after all.
It took most of the game, though.
It did, which is like 8 seasons in TF2 time, or what we like to call Valve time.
Yeah, Golden Triangle's using that Wrangle Mini Sentry once again, so our blue team, How I Fragged Your Medic, putting up a valiant defense on second. Right now they've taken down their enemy Engineer as well, and they're still holding these chokes pretty nicely. Got to start doing some spam there is what Jesus is playing at right now.
And you can definitely tell I've been loving Duder this entire match, and I'm now checking out the scores, paying a little bit of attention. He's second highest scorer on, on Team Blue right now, so he definitely knows what he's doing.
By a good amount. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Scout's a tough one to run with, especially tough to score high on, and let me tell you something, he definitely knows what he's doing. I give him a lot of props and shout out in this video.
Oh, Ethel getting a nice reflect, I'm sorry, not a flare shot, but getting a nice reflect there on G-Commer, and then axing him a question afterwards with that axe extinguisher. It's always fun to watch Ethel when he's on a rampage.
Well, Heavy has been popped. Looks like their gets jammed. Their Heavy is rocking the Tomislav, which is kind of strange. I don't see that a lot in tournament play. Usually it's just typical minigun. But you know what? Seems to be doing the damage right now. It just took down the Red Heavy, and Mini Sentry looks like it's going down, absolutely, and their Pyro. So, good move by him.
Yeah, the Tommy is going to let him push forward without them being able to hear until it's too late, until he's right on top of them. It's just a nice little addition for mobility, but you got to be careful because you're going to be dealing 20% less damage. So you have to be able to get in position better and really use that effectively. But hey, when you've got the gloves of running urgently, it's not a bad idea. Grizzgolf pushing up here. He's taking some damage from the opposing heavy right now, but is helping to spam it out, and our blue team actually recapturing the middle point. So this could end up finally being their first round win.
Well, let's take a look. See, this definitely isn't over yet. It is not over until the fat lady sings. And I don't know who this fat lady is, but how dare she decide when the end of what something I want to do is.
I know, right? I've always felt like, you know, the fat lady singing is, it's like she's such a jerk. It's completely arbitrary. She starts standing up and we're just like, no, come on, we want to play more. And she goes, nope, sorry. Starts singing away.
That's usually the end of my productivity in the day, too.
Oh, apparently somebody dropped an Uber. I didn't even see that, but Duder kind of making the let me pick that up for you bind. I don't know if that's a bind, actually. He might have just typed it out, but that's definitely one of the lines he uses when they've got when he's caused an Uber drop. So now, once again, Team Beast actually recaptured the middle point there while we were yucking it up.
As an Adventure Time fan, I myself am always happy to see the Adventure Time references that Blue Team is throwing out there. They do have a somebody who earlier was named Lumpy Space Princess, one of the characters from Adventure Time, and every now and again a bind definitely shows up that says "What the lump," one of Lumpy Space Princess's catchphrases.
We do have John Travolta sneaking around behind How I Fragged Your Medic once again. He did bump into the spy there momentarily, so he's going to get caught out here very quickly.
Up, but he makes the up and manages to take out Brasali, though. He did a good job.
What? How is he still alive? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's got to have it no more than 15 health.
He's got 8. He's got 8 health right now. How is he doing this?
Oh,
there you go. Ethel found him.
John Travolta's least favorite person in the world. The Pyro manages to burn that man alive.
Yeah, so it looks like Team Flareshot representing right now against Electronic Espionage. But Chile laying down some arrows here, trying to knock down whatever he can, but he's got to be careful here as Aura fires using that regular sniper rifle and can scope in on him and kill him anytime. He's got to wait for this Uber to finish here, and actually if he holds this arrow for long enough, it's going to fire inaccurately if you hold it longer than 5 seconds pulled back like that.
Looking like Beast is making the push forward. They have definitely captured the second to last point, and let's see if they can take their entire team, who is all alive, and make this push in on the final point.
Yeah, they're eating some damage here, but I'm bad getting the heals on right now, and that is going to be the game. GG there. A 5-0, actually, although not a total roll. That was definitely a good game for the Reddit East Coast team.
Yeah, not a total roll at all, but definitely a good game. There were many points where I legitimately didn't know what was going to happen or where to call it. So, to be honest, good game from both teams. I give them both much respect.
Yeah, I would too. And thank you, Eric. Do you have any plugs you want to give us here before I stop recording?
Well, yeah, EricRuth Games. As you know, I am the creator and founder of such, but it has recently been picked up by Pure Bang Games, which is a social game network that is now going to be adventuring into the world of PC games with me by their side. So, everybody check out purebanggames.com and keep an eye on me, EricRuth of EricRuth Games, to see what pops out of us next.
You make it sound like childbirth, but you know what? I bet it kind of is a labor of love for you. At any rate, this has been Salamancer. Do hit that subscribe button on my channel and check out all the awesome stuff we do for XTV as well. I hope to see a lot more of EricRuth with us in the future, and I'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys.